Hi, I'm Pastor Larry Becker, the senior pastor here at Trinity Lutheran Church in Hawthorne. I'd like to invite you to our services next Sunday. The next Sunday is Reformation Sunday. It's a celebration, especially for Lutherans, but for all Protestants and Christians, Catholic as well, of what Martin Luther did 498 years ago in Wittenberg, Germany. Tradition and legend has it that he nailed 95 theses or arguments, concerns that he had about what the Pope was doing and what the Church was doing and how grace was being misunderstood and what God truly wanted to give his people in forgiveness through Jesus Christ. Luther essentially rediscovered that and was one of the first people to remind the Church of that and survive. There were others who came before Luther who were not so fortunate, who had truly bad ends at the hands of the Church. It's a terrible thing when religion and civil authority and power mix together. It's never a good thing. So this coming Sunday, October 25th, 2015, we celebrate that. The text that we'll look at, our gospel text especially, is from John chapter 8, verses 31 to 36. We look here at Jesus' encounter with some of the Jewish people who were there, who believed in him in Jerusalem, that didn't still quite know what to make of them. They were really Jews. They were there to celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles. That's an important piece of what's going on here. The Feast of Tabernacles it was a celebration of when God's people had been set free from slavery in Egypt and were in the wilderness wandering for 40 years, and they lived in little tabernacles or little tents. And that helps us understand what comes next. Jesus said to them, "If you continue in my word, you are truly my disciples. You will know the truth, and the truth will make you free." They were actually offended at what he said. What do you mean, free? You're saying we're not free? We're children of Abraham. We've never been slaves to anyone. The very feast that they were there to celebrate was a remembrance of the time that they were essentially refugees fleeing from slavery in Egypt. And in fact, they had been enslaved a number of times before their encounter with Jesus. Even at that very moment, they were under Roman occupation in that very city. Their own king was a puppet ruler. Jesus offers us that same gift of freedom, but many don't believe they need it. They don't understand that they are enslaved, not to the Assyrians or Babylonians or even the Romans necessarily, but slaves to sin and fear and death and anger and hatred and a need to rebel, a confusion that comes from not having God in place in our lives, from not having our part and place in the family of God secure. We are children of God, loved by him, forgiven. And in that forgiveness comes freedom from sin's power. God is not an angry judge looking to punish us, and so he had to send his son Jesus to pay our penalty. It's much deeper and more powerful than that. Sin kills us, it destroys us, it enslaves us. Jesus paid the price that had to be paid for sin, because sin will kill. What if someone took our place? Not to satisfy an angry God, but to destroy sin's power. That's what Luther discovered, and that's what we celebrate. Our first reading from the prophet Jeremiah from Jeremiah 31. Jeremiah talks about a prophecy to come when God's law would be written on our hearts. We wouldn't have to any longer be told what to do. We would come to the place where we knew what God wanted of us and for us. That has come true in Jesus and comes true now in and for us. This coming Sunday we have two identical services, 8:30 and 10:45. Normally our late service is a contemporary service with guitars and so on. But this Sunday we have two traditional services. We'll sing the song that I was playing a bit of, "A Mighty Fortress is Our God," a song that Luther wrote based on Psalm 46 that celebrates God's power and presence in our lives. We also, at our second service this coming Sunday, will celebrate confirmation for two of our young people. We expect a huge crowd of people for that and are excited to share with them our ministry and extend to them the grace of God through this place. We hope that you can join us this coming Sunday. God's blessings and peace be on you. I hope to continue making these videos on a weekly basis. My time has not been my own, that's all I can say. My schedule has been overrun, and so I'm trying to work these in. I really love doing them, and I think it's a great thing that we can work on together, getting ready for and preparing our hearts and minds to receive the word on this coming Sunday. Blessings and peace be with you. Amen.